Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's training session on the sales quotation to sales order process in the Onfinity system. I'm glad to have you here. Let's begin by looking at today's agenda. In this session, we will work through the complete flow, starting from creating a sales quotation, moving to the sales order process, and then continuing through delivery and invoicing. Now, let's look at the objective of this session. The objective is to enable you to understand the sales quotation to sales order process and its associated terms in the context of business processes. This session will also enable you to test the sales quotation to sales order process in the context of business requirements. Next, let's look at the prerequisites. Before we dive into the process, please ensure that you have access to the Onfinity platform with a valid user ID and password. Also, make sure that the Onfinity basic setup and master data setup configurations must be completed and available. Now let's move on to the sales quotation to sales order process use case. To better understand how a sales quotation works, let's go through a practical example. This will help us to see how the quotation is created and how it functions within the process. In this scenario at Sonic Ventures, the sales quotation process is initiated when a customer such as DevCast Incorporation, a leading electronics retailer, requests a formal quotation for 20 desktops and 15 Redmi Note 10 smartphones. The sales team prepares a detailed quotation, setting the unit price at 45,500 rupees for each desktop and 35,000 rupees for each smartphone, with a 19% VAT applied. The grand total amounts to 14,99,400 rupees. After internal approval, the quotation is then shared with DevCast Incorporation for their review. The customer negotiates for a 5% discount, resulting in revised unit prices of 43,225 rupees for desktops and 33,250 rupees for smartphones, bringing the total down to 24,430 rupees. To accommodate this, the sales team updates the sales quotation, reprocesses it in the system, and resends it to the customer for confirmation. Upon acceptance, the quotation is converted into a formal sales order. Following the sales order, a delivery order is created using the confirmation document type, which allows the warehouse team to verify and confirm the actual stock being dispatched. On the confirmation screen, the team checks that the correct quantities of desktops and smartphones are physically available and ready for delivery. This verification step ensures accuracy and prevents any items from being missed during dispatch. Finally, once delivery is successfully completed, the finance team generates the accounts receivable AR invoice to close the process. Let's move on to our next topic, which is the sales quotation to sales order process flow chart. This chart gives us a quick overview of the complete process flow. It begins with a sales quotation, which captures the customer's requirements and proposed terms. Once the customer accepts the quotation, it is converted into a sales order, formalizing the agreement. The sales order then leads to a delivery order, which defines the products and quantities that need to be dispatched. After this, the delivery confirmation step is carried out. Here, the warehouse team verifies that the correct items and quantities are physically available and ready for shipment, ensuring accuracy before dispatch. Finally, the process concludes with the accounts receivable invoice, which records the billing and closes the sales cycle. Together, these steps ensure accuracy, maintain transparency, and enable smooth coordination between the sales, warehouse, and finance teams. Now let's know the basic masters involved in the sales quotation to sales order process. To record the sales quotation to sales order process, here are some basic masters which must be available in the system. It includes customer master, product or charge, attribute set instance if product have multiple attributes, unit of measure, currency, price list, payment term, and payment method. All these topics are already covered in their respective training sessions. If you want to learn how to configure them, you can watch the detailed sessions on each topic. Now that we've covered the basic concepts and practical use case of the process, we understand the steps required to execute this business process effectively. This concludes the foundational knowledge of how and what we are going to process within the Onfinity system. Now let's proceed to the system demonstration to explore how this process can be performed step by step. Open the Onfinity platform by entering the designated URL into your web browser. Enter your user ID in the designated field. Enter your password. Click on the Login button to access the system. Once you log into the system, you will land on the Onfinity homepage. Here, you can see various mosaics that display real-time data based on transactions recorded in the system. These mosaics provide valuable insights for analyzing the current business position. The availability of mosaics depends on the user's access rights and the modules installed in the system. It is important to note that the mosaics you see on your screen may not be the same as the ones currently visible on mine, since these can be rearranged or modified as per individual preferences. To make adjustments, simply go to the Mosaic section and click on it. From here, if you want to insert another available mosaic, you can select it and drop it onto the homepage. If you want to rearrange the location of an existing mosaic, simply select it and interchange its position with another. This is how you can easily adjust and organize mosaics in Onfinity. Let's close the mosaic section for now and move on to the sales quotation to sales order process. The first step is to create a sales quotation. For that, we need to open the sales quotation screen. To access the sales quotation screen, you can simply search for sales quotation using the menu search utility. Alternatively, you can navigate through the sales and marketing module, then go to sales management. And under this module, you will find the sales quotation screen. Click on sales quotation to open the sales quotation screen. Once it is open, you will land on the landing page of the sales quotation screen. Before we move ahead, let's take a moment to understand what a sales quotation is. A quotation represents the estimated cost of the products or services you are offering to a current or prospective customer. A sales quotation is a document containing an itemized list of products or services along with their prices and the terms of sale and payment. Typically, sales quotations are created at the request of a prospective buyer who wishes to know the cost of specific products or services before making a purchase decision. On the landing page, you will also notice certain mosaics that are specific to the sales quotation screen. These mosaics can be used for filtering purposes. For example, if there are existing records available in the sales quotation screen, you can search or filter them using the advanced search mosaic. By default, you will find options such as this month's sales quotations, this week's sales quotations, and today's sales quotations. This means that whenever sales quotations are created, they will automatically appear under the respective advanced search mosaic option. Similarly, we also have the customer mosaic, which allows you to filter quotations based on the customer against whom the sales quotation was created. Next, we have the document status mosaic. This allows you to filter sales quotations based on their current stage, whether they are still in draft, already completed, in progress, waiting for approval, and so on. We also have the representative mosaic, which helps you filter quotations by the sales representative responsible for them. Along with that, the document type mosaic is available to filter records if multiple document types have been created for sales quotations to serve different business needs. In addition, you will notice some KPI mosaics, quotations. Expiring in 7 days highlights the quotations that are approaching their expiry date, helping the sales team take timely action. Similarly, the expired quotations KPI shows all the quotations that were not converted into sales orders and have already expired as per quotation valid till date entered. Next, we have the sales quotation conversion ratio mosaic. This is a useful KPI that helps analyze the percentage of quotations that have been successfully converted into sales orders. In addition to mosaics, you will also find several charts available on this screen. These charts become meaningful once there are completed transactions for sales quotations. The top 10 open sales quotations chart displays the highest value quotations that are still open. The top 10 quotations by value chart shows quotation values categorized based on products. And finally, the sales quotation by product category chart provides insights into which product categories are most frequently used in quotations. In the Open Quotations mosaic, we also have the option to directly create a sales order by selecting a particular sales quotation record. We will explore this functionality later in the session. Together, these mosaics and charts provide both quick insights and detailed analysis, enabling users to track, filter, and evaluate quotations effectively. For now, let's focus on adding a new record. To do this, simply click on the New Record option. This action will open the sales quotation screen in a single record view. On the left side of the sales quotation screen, you will see the Header panel. This panel displays some of the most important details, such as the customer name, quotation number, quotation date, quotation valid till date, the currency, grand total, setup priority, and document status. These fields within the header panel are used to provide a consolidated view and quick insights of sales quotation. In addition to these fields, the header panel also includes the Document Action button, which is used to process and complete the transaction. Now let's go step by step and understand each field available on the sales quotation. The first field we have is Organization. This field is used to define under which organization the particular quotation is being created. Next, we have the target document type. By default, this is set to define the specific type of transaction. In our case, it is sales quotation. Following this, we have the quotation number. This number is automatically generated by the system based on the serial number control linked to the target document type. The next field is the quote date, which represents the date on which the quotation is being created. Then we have the quotation valid till field. This indicates the last date by which we expect the quotation to be converted into a sales order. After this date, the system will not allow us to proceed with the conversion. For instance, let's select the 15th of June, 2025 as the valid till date. This means the customer is expected to respond and confirm within this time frame. Next, we have the customer field. This field is used to specify the customer for whom we are creating the quotation. Once the customer is selected, the system automatically pulls in all the related information to ensure accuracy and save time. For our use case, we will proceed with Devcast incorporation based on the details already maintained in the customer master. As soon as we select the customer, several fields will be auto-populated. These include Invoice to Business Partner, Location, Bill to Location, User Contact, and Invoice Contact, which is fetched from the Contact tab of the Customer Master. Additionally, the Sales Representative field is also filled in automatically based on the login details of the current user. This field indicates the individual responsible for sales quotation. If there is a different person responsible for preparing or representing this particular quotation, we can select that individual directly from the Sales Representative field. For now, we will continue with the default Sonic admin. Next, we have the Priority field. This allows us to set the importance level of the quotation, whether it is high, medium, urgent, low, or minor. Please note that this is for informational purposes only and does not impact the system's processing logic. Now, let's take a moment to zoom into the Customer Master directly from the Customer field options. This will help us quickly review how the customer information is set up in the system. We do have a dedicated session on the Customer Master, where we will go into detail about configuring customers. For now, we will simply perform a quick review and verify the details. Once we zoom into the customer from the sales quotation screen, the system takes us to the Customer Master screen, where the selected customer record opens in grid view. To see the details in single record view, we can simply click on the customer's name hyperlink. Here you will notice that the customer record is opening in a read-only view. This happens because by default, our login is set with the Apply Filter option enabled. If you need to make changes, you can navigate to the login details, uncheck the Apply Filter option, and then click on Change. Once this is done, the customer record will become editable. For now, we will not make any changes to the filter. We will continue with this specific organization and only perform a quick review of how the customer is set up. Looking at the customer header, you can see that the price list, payment term, and payment method are already linked to this customer. Based on these configurations, the same fields are automatically populated in our sales quotation. We will review and confirm this linkage when we go back to the quotation screen. Next, click on the Location Details tab. This tab is used to set up and manage the customer's locations. The locations configured here on the Location tab are updated directly on transactions. If you want to view a specific location in detail, simply click on the hyperlink of the location name and the record will open in single record view. Now, let's move back to the customer header by clicking on the Home option. From here, navigate to the Contact Persons tab. This section displays the contact person details associated with the customer. In our case, you can see that Rajveer is listed as the contact person, and from here, the user contact get updated automatically. With this quick verification complete, let's now return to the sales quotation screen and continue with our process. Here on the sales quotation, you can see that the price list, payment term, and payment method are automatically fetched from the customer master. If required, you can make adjustments here. You may choose to update the payment term or select a different payment method from the available options, depending on the customer's agreement. For our current case, we will continue with the default values as they are. Next, we have the Incoterm field. This is used to define the specific term, and is mostly used when the transaction is with an international customer, as it defines the agreed delivery and shipping terms for the transaction. You can select the applicable Incoterm directly from here. Once all these details are verified and updated as needed, let's go ahead and save the header. So this is how we prepare the sales quotation header. Here, we can see several tab buttons that allow us to easily navigate to the respective tabs of the sales quotation. To insert the quotation lines, we have two options. We can directly go to the Lines tab by clicking on Lines tab button, or we can add lines from the composite view of the sales quotation itself. Whichever way feels more convenient, you can use that. In addition, under the Actions button, we have some useful options. One of them is Copy from another record. This option allows us to copy lines from an existing sales quotation. For example, if we already have a quotation in the system with the same products that we now want to reuse, instead of entering them again manually, we can simply use Copy from another record. To use the Copy from another record, simply click the button. A confirmation message will appear. Click OK, and then enter the quotation number in the reference order field and select the desired sales quotation on the Open Info page, and by clicking OK, the lines from that quotation will be inserted automatically. For now, we will not insert lines using this option, so let's close it. Another option available is Create Line from Cart. Click this to open the Create Line from Cart page, which lists all previously created carts. If carts have already been created in the system, you can directly insert lines from a specific cart into your sales quotation. If you want to learn how carts are created, you can refer to the dedicated session on the Inventory Count form under Material Management. That session provides a detailed explanation, helping you understand how these carts are prepared. To add lines from a cart, simply click on the desired cart. Once you open the cart, you will see a list of products. From these, you can select any product that you want to insert into the sales quotation. For example, here we have the Redmi Note 10. It is better to select it along with its attributes, as this ensures the product details are accurately reflected in the quotation. After selecting the desired product, click on Create Lines. A confirmation message will appear stating, Record saved successfully, which means the lines have been successfully inserted. Now, if you check the composite view, you will see that the line has been inserted. Here, the tax is automatically applied as VAT 19%, based on the tax configuration. This configuration has been explained in the dedicated tax management setup session. If you want to see how this tax setup works in detail and how it reflects here, you can refer to the tax management setup session. Let's now navigate to the Lines tab by clicking on Lines tab button. This allows us to verify the details of the inserted lines and make any necessary updates. Click on Line Number hyperlink to open record in single record view. As per our use case, the customer requires only 10 quantities of a product. We can update the quantity field directly here to reflect the correct product quantities. If you want to add lines manually, the process is straightforward. First, click on New Record, then select the desired product. Next, click on the Attribute Set Instance field. This opens the Attribute Set Instance page, where you can select the relevant attributes for the product. You have two options here. You can either choose from the available attributes defined in the attribute group, or you can select an existing attribute instance from previously created records. This is how the attribute set instance is used to ensure product details are correctly specified. Once done, we can close the attribute set instance page and continue with the sales quotation. If you want to apply a tax other than the default one on a particular line, you can select the desired tax from the available options in the tax field. As we have already seen, the quantity field can also be manually updated to reflect the required number of units. The next set of fields includes price, unit price, and list price. The price and unit price represents the offered price to the customer, while the list price reflects the standard MRP. All of these values are automatically fetched from the price list, based on the configuration we have already set up. For now, the prices are updated directly from the price list. However, if needed, you can manually adjust them here to reflect any special pricing or customer-specific agreements. You will also notice the Line History tab button. This tab is used to track changes made to the quotation lines. Whenever a record is completed and then reactivated, any modifications in sales quotation line are captured and recorded in the Line History tab. This allows us to review all changes and understand any negotiations or adjustments made during the sales quotation process. For now, we will close the Line History tab. We will revisit the Line History tab later, after the quotation has been sent to the customer. Based on the negotiations, if any repricing is required, the Line History will help us track and manage those updates efficiently. Now let's click on New Record to add another product required for the sales quotation, which in this case is the desktop. Simply select the product. If there is a need to include any additional charges, such as an add-on warranty, you can select it in the Charge field. You can use either a product or a charge on a single line, depending on your requirement. Next, we have the Unit of Measure UOM field. By default, the UOM comes from the product. You can change the UOM only if a universal conversion exists against the product's primary UOM, or if a specific product UOM conversion is defined. If such a conversion is available, you can select the desired UOM here. The quantity ordered will then be updated accordingly, while the quantity stored in the warehouse will always reflect the primary UOM. For this particular product, no UOM conversion is available. Therefore, we will continue using the default UOM for the desktop. Let's enter the quantity as 20, and once done, simply save the record. In the Amount Reference section, you will find fields such as Discount Use Percent, which shows any discount applied, Surcharge Amount if taxes include a surcharge, and other details related to amounts. The Line Amount field reflects the product of price star quantity. It shows the value without tax if the price list used is not tax inclusive. The Line Total field shows the total value after adding the applicable tax amount. This is how we can add lines in the Lines tab. Once done, let's move back to the home. Next, on the Quotation Tax tab, you will be able to see a detailed tax breakup for the overall record. Click on the Order Tax tab button to open the Order Tax tab and verify the tax details. In this tab, you will see the tax amount and the total taxable amount, calculated based on the lines in the sales quotation. The tab also indicates whether the Price Include check button is enabled. If it is checked, it means the prices are tax inclusive. If it is unchecked, the prices are tax exclusive. Currently, the Price Include check button is unchecked, which means our price list is exclusive of tax. If the price list being used were tax inclusive, this check button would automatically be checked, reflecting that the prices already include tax. Lastly, the Show Sales or Blankets Orders tab will be updated once we finalize the quotation and convert it either into a sales order or a blanket order. Once converted, Show Sales or Blankets Orders tab will display the document number of the generated sales order or blanket order. We will explore this tab in more detail after completing and proceeding with the sales quotation. Now, after validating and adding the required record details, the next step is to process the quotation. To do this, click on the Document Action button in the header panel. In the Document Actions info page, choose the Prepare option. By preparing the document, the quotation is formally processed, which means that the added products can no longer be deleted. This step also allows the document to be verified internally and shared with the customer as the initial quotation for the requested items. Once you confirm the action by clicking OK, the system will update the document status to In Progress. Now, to print the sales quotation, simply click on the Print option and select the desired print format. The quotation print will open in the selected format, containing the defined item descriptions, their quantities, and the corresponding prices. It will also include details such as the payment terms, payment method, and the validity date. From here, the quotation can be downloaded and shared internally or directly with the customer, depending on the standard procedure followed by the organization. Let's now return to the sales quotation screen. Once all discussions and negotiations with the customer are completed, any changes in pricing that result from these negotiations need to be updated in the system. To do this, navigate to the Lines tab, where you can make the necessary changes as agreed between the organization and the customer. As per our use case, the agreed changes now need to be applied. A 5% discount is to be given on the selected products. For the Redmi Note 10, update the price to 33,250 rupees. As soon as the price is changed, the discount percentage field will automatically reflect 5%. Next, move to the line for the desktop and update its price to 43,225 rupees. Once the prices have been updated, save the line. The discount values will be recalculated, and at this stage the sales quotation can be completed, so you can proceed over the creation of the sales order. To complete, click on the Document Action button within Header panel. Now select the document action as Complete and confirm by OK. Now, click on the Line History tab button to open the Line History tab. Since we have completed the record, the updated line details are captured here. Whenever this quotation is reactivated to make further changes to any line, those changes will also be recorded and displayed in this Line History tab. For now, simply close the Line History tab and return to the Header tab. From here, you can print the quotation again and resend it to the customer. If the customer requests any further changes, this can be managed by reactivating the quotation. To do this, click on the Document Action button, select Reactivate, and the quotation will become editable, allowing you to update the required details. This completes the process of creating, managing, and processing a sales quotation. Once the sales quotation record is completed, you will notice an additional action button available under the Actions. This is the Create Sales Order button. To generate a sales order, simply click on Create Sales Order button and confirm the action by clicking OK on the confirmation message. A new page will then open, where a few details need to be updated for the sales order. The first field is the order, which automatically captures and carries forward the record of our sales quotation. The next field is the document type. For the sales order transaction, we have multiple document types available to choose from. For example, if we want to create a blanket sales order, we can select the document type as blanket sales order. However, we will cover blanket sales orders in detail in our next session, so for now, we will not go into this option. Other available document types include credit order, POS order, prepay order, standard order, and warehouse order. Each of these document types functions differently. For instance, when creating a sales order on credit, we select the credit order document type. Once a credit order is processed, the system automatically generates both the delivery order and the AR invoice. Similarly, when using the POS order type, which is specifically designed for point-of-sale transactions, all related documents such as the invoice, shipment, and payment are created simultaneously at the time of completing the sales order record. For the prepay order, the process ensures that payment is received first. Once the payment transaction is created and completed against the sales order, the system will automatically prepare and generate the remaining documents, including the shipment and the AR invoice. The warehouse order works differently. In this case, shipments are carried out directly from the warehouse. By initiating a sales order with the warehouse order document type, the system simultaneously creates the delivery of the items. Finally, we have the standard order, which is the most commonly used type. Here, the process is more manual and requires step-by-step execution. First, we create the sales order and complete it. Once the order is completed, the system does not generate delivery or invoice automatically. Instead, we need to navigate to the delivery order screen and create the delivery manually. After completing the delivery, we then proceed to generate the AR invoice separately. This document type is generally used when organizations want more control over each step of the process. Now let's look at the document date field. This field defines the date that will be used as the document date for the sales order record. Let's say for now we are converting sales quotation on the date of 10th June 2025. Now lastly, we have the Close Document checkbox, which is used to close the sales quotation. By marking this checkbox as true, we ensure that this particular quotation cannot be further used or modified, since it is now being converted into a sales order. After marking the checkbox, simply confirm by clicking OK. Once done, you will notice the message, "Order created successfully," displayed at the bottom of the sales quotation screen. Along with this, the system will also display the document number of the newly created sales order, confirming that the conversion has been successfully completed. Now to proceed further, let's navigate to the sales order screen. You can either search for sales order directly in the menu search utility, or follow the path through the sales and marketing module, under order management, where you will find the sales order. Simply click on sales order, and the sales order screen will open. Once the screen is open, you will land on the sales order landing page. Before we move ahead, let's first take a moment to understand what a sales order actually is. A sales order is a formal document that confirms the products, services, and agreed pricing of a sale. It typically includes details such as product descriptions, quantities, prices, and delivery terms. In practice, a sales order is usually generated once a customer has accepted the quotation and the products are ready to be shipped or delivered. The sales order plays an important role in the sales process. It not only serves as a legal agreement between both parties, but also helps ensure transparency, accuracy, and better control over organizational sales and spending. On the landing page of the sales order screen, you will also notice a number of default mosaics available. These mosaics can be used for quick filtering of records, as well as for analysis through KPIs and charts that provide valuable insights into the organization's sales performance. Mosaics include advanced search, document status, warehouse, target document type, and customer, all of which can be used to filter the available records and quickly locate specific sales orders. Next, there is Open Sales Order KPI, which shows all sales orders that are still open and pending for delivery creation. In addition, there are two more important mosaics: due fulfillments and expected fulfillments. The due fulfillments mosaic shows sales orders that were scheduled to be delivered in the past but are still pending, based on the promised date. The expected fulfillments mosaic, on the other hand, displays sales orders that are scheduled to be fulfilled either on the current day or in the future, as per their promised delivery dates. From these two mosaics, a delivery order can also be created directly. To do this, simply select the document number from the available sales records displayed in the mosaic. Once the record opens, the item lines become visible. If the required items are available in the warehouse, the line can be selected for further processing. In this case, the item quantity is not available for the selected record. This is why the line appears in red and cannot be selected. This indicates that the stock is not available for this particular product, and therefore, we cannot proceed with the delivery at this stage. However, if the stock were available, the line can be selected. The Generate Delivery Order button would appear. By clicking Generate Delivery Order button, the system would process the sales order and generates the delivery order. Here, several charts are also available for analysis. The top 10 sales orders by value chart displays the highest value sales orders against the vendors. The top 10 products by sales revenue chart highlights the products that generate the most revenue, along with their respective contribution. Finally, sales growth within last 6 months chart provides a clear view of sales trends, comparing performance over the past 6 months. Let's move back to the sales quotation screen to check whether the sales order number has been updated there. On sales quotation screen, click on the Show Sales Blankets Orders tab button to navigate on the Show Sales Blankets Orders tab, as we have not reviewed it earlier. Here, notice that the document status is displayed as closed, since the closed document checkbox was marked as true at the time of creating and converting the sales quotation into a sales order. In this tab, the sales order number is also updated against the corresponding product line, confirming the successful conversion. With this confirmation, we can now proceed to the sales order screen and search for the sales order that has been created. The sales order screen can be accessed directly by clicking on the screen option, or the View Records mosaic can be used to open the available records. Filters can also be applied to narrow down the results. For example, the Advanced Search mosaic provides a filter for today's sales orders, which displays only the orders created on the current date. Clicking on this hyperlink will show only those orders. If the filter needs to be cleared, it can be removed by selecting the close option from the search bar. Alternatively, an order can also be searched by entering its number directly into the search bar, which filters and displays the matching record. Once the order appears, clicking on the order number hyperlink will open it in the single record view. The sales order screen displays details that are directly carried over from the sales quotation, such as the customer's location, and the contact person. If any modification is required, it can be made here. In addition, the sales order includes the warehouse field. Here, the default warehouse appears automatically, which has been linked at the organization level. In the composite view of lines, all the product details from the quotation are also reflected here. This includes the products, their quantities, and the respective prices. Every line is updated exactly as entered in the quotation, ensuring accuracy and consistency. All of these details can be verified at this stage before proceeding further with the order. The Order Details tab includes some additional information related to the order, which we will go through later. For now, let's move to the Lines tab by clicking on the Lines tab button. Here, click on the line number hyperlink to open the record in a single record view for a more detailed look. In this view, we can see additional details of the sales order line that can be analyzed, such as the product, attributes that were already defined in the sales quotation, along with the used unit of measure, quantity, tax, and prices. Other related information is also available under the quantity and amount sections. In addition, there is also a line history tab. If any changes are made to the sales order line after the document has been completed and later reactivated, those changes will be captured here. This allows us to track and review the full history of updates made to each line. The contract check button is enabled when dealing with service-type products, as it is specifically used in the service contract process. This functionality will be explained in detail in a separate dedicated session. Similarly, the drop shipment checkbox is used in the drop shipment process, and this will also be covered in one of the upcoming sessions. For now, let us move back to the header tab of the sales order. To review the tax details, click on the Show Order Tax tab button. This will open the Order Tax tab, where the applicable tax information is displayed in the same way as it was shown in the sales quotation. Once verified, close this tab. Next, the Payment Schedule tab will be updated automatically if the advance payment terms are applied to the order. Now, moving further, the Actions provides additional buttons. From here, lines can be created from the cart, or an existing sales order can be copied using the Copy from Another Sales Order button. To add lines from the cart, simply click on the Create Lines from Cart button. This will open the Create Lines from Cart page, where all previously created carts are listed and available for selection. Now, to proceed, search the required cart. As already mentioned, the process of creating carts will be explained in detail in the dedicated session on the inventory count form. Once a cart is located, click on it to open and view the available lines. From here, simply select the desired lines and add them by clicking on the Create Lines button. If there is a need to return and choose another cart, the back button can be used. For now, since no cart is being used in this case, close the Create Lines from Cart page. In a similar way, lines can also be added using the Copy from Another Sales Order button. By clicking this button, the system will ask for confirmation. Once confirmed by selecting OK, the next step is to choose the sales order from which the lines should be copied and inserted into the current sales order. Once all the required details have been defined and verified, the record can be completed. To do this, click on Document Action within the Sales Order header panel. This opens the Document Action page, where the action complete is selected by default. Confirm by clicking OK, and the record will be marked as completed. After the sales order is completed, the next step is to proceed with the delivery order process for shipping the items to the customer from the warehouse. Before moving on to the delivery order, let us take a look at the left side of the sales order screen, where the header panel is displayed. This panel provides a consolidated view of the most important details, such as the customer name, order number, order date, promised date, currency, grand total, order status, and document status. These fields are designed to give quick insights into the sales order. Along with this, the header panel also contains the Document Action button to process transactions, as well as the Not Posted button, which is used to post the ledger entries manually. Now let us move back to the landing page of the sales order. From here, the delivery order can also be created directly using the mosaics, as we have been discussing. By refreshing the Expected Fulfillments mosaic, the recently completed sales order will appear. Clicking on the sales order number will open the associated item lines. Since the required items are available in the warehouse, the lines are selectable, and the quantities are highlighted in green, indicating that the stock is available for processing. If you want to create a delivery order directly from the mosaic, you can simply click on Generate Delivery Order. But for now, we will move to the delivery order screen and create it manually. To open the delivery order screen, you can search for delivery order in the menu search utility, or navigate to Material Management. Under this, go to Order Fulfillment, where the delivery order will be available. Open it, and this will again take you to the landing page of the delivery order. The delivery order serves as the document that records the movement of goods from the warehouse to the customer based on the sales order. It also ensures that inventory is updated and the correct items are confirmed as shipped. On landing page, you will also be able to see the mosaic that can be used for filtration. The available filters include advanced search, warehouse, customer, and document type. Shipper, if specified on the delivery, can also be used, along with document status. The static mosaics, pending deliveries and expected deliveries are also available. These can be used to create a delivery order directly from the mosaic, similar to the sales orders, due fulfillments, and expected fulfillments mosaics, without entering details manually within the delivery order screen. To proceed with mosaic, click on the document number of an available sales order, then select the required line, and click on the Generate Delivery Order button. The landing page also displays charts such as delivery order versus customer return, which enable analysis of items delivered in comparison with returns. In addition, the top 10 highest stock products chart highlights the quantities of products with the highest stock levels, allowing further analysis. There are also additional mosaics to open forms and processes that are used to generate the delivery order and invoice, apart from the screen that is available. The From provides options for specific record transactions, such as Generate Delivery and Generate Invoice. With respect to business partners, the process options available are Generate Delivery Order Manual and Generate Invoice Manual. These are additional features that can be used, and they will be discussed in a separate session. For now, the delivery order will be created manually from the screen. Click on the New Record Mosaic. Once the New Record Mosaic is used, the screen opens in a single record view. The first step is to select the organization. Next, select the document type. The available document types include Shipment for direct deliveries, Shipment indirect, and Shipment with confirmation. The Shipment indirect type is used in processes such as POS and credit orders for identification, where it is linked to the sales order document type to create the delivery order as per the process. The Shipment type is used when creating a delivery order directly that verifies items reduced from the warehouse and shipped to the customer. In this case, however, the requirement is to verify and confirm that the actual items have been shipped to the customer at the time of dispatch. For this purpose, the Shipment with confirmation document type is available. There are a few configurations that need to be made at the document type level. Let us identify all of those. Now let us zoom into the selected Shipment with confirmation document type from the document type field options. So, for better understanding of the document types, you can refer towards the dedicated session of the document type that has been covered under the Basic Setup. Click on Name hyperlink to view record in single record view for more details. At this stage, the required fields need to be defined. First, provide the name, followed by the print text, then the posting category, and the document base type as material delivery. The required check buttons must be marked, which are the same as those in Shipment. There is also a specific check button to mark for the confirmation process. This is the Ship Receipt Confirmation, which must be set to True. Only then will this document type be used for confirmation, and the confirmation document must be linked as Ship/Receipt Confirmation, which will be used on the confirmation screen. If there is any product that is not up to the required standard and needs to be scrapped but still has to be utilized internally, the scrapped document can be used and set as internal use inventory. This is the minimal configuration required on the Shipment with confirmation document type for the confirmation process. If it is not available in the system, it can be directly created by copying the document type of Shipment. Now let us move back to the delivery order screen. Next, the movement date needs to be entered, which indicates the date on which the items are being delivered. After that, enter the order number of the created sales order in the sales order field. Once selected from the drop-down, the remaining details will automatically populate from the sales order information. If there are additional shipment details, such as shipping or freight, these can be entered under the Shipment section. However, we will not go into detail here, as these fields will be discussed further in the sessions on e-way billing and e-invoicing. At this stage, shipping method, freight category, or shipper details can also be defined, depending on the requirement. But for now, we will set these aside for discussion in their respective sessions. With this, we can now save the header. Next, we need to insert the lines. For this, click on the Create Lines from Sales Order button, which will open the Create Lines from page. The sales order comes selected by default since it was already chosen in the header. Now, select the locator from which the items will be delivered. If required, the default locator can be removed and replaced with another as needed. In case of partial delivery, the entered quantity can be adjusted accordingly. For now, we are proceeding without partial delivery. Simply select the lines and confirm by clicking OK. Once this is done, the lines will be inserted directly into the delivery order. You can verify the details by going to the Delivery Order Lines tab and clicking on the product hyperlink to open the record in a single record view. Here, all related details of the items can be reviewed and verified. Now, let us move back to the header. In the header, you will also find other process buttons. For example, the Create Lines from Cart button allows you to create lines directly from a cart, which was explained earlier during the discussion on the inventory cart form and how carts can be created and used. Next, the Generate AR Invoice button enables you to generate the invoice directly from the delivery order screen once the delivery order has been completed. Finally, the Review Posting button can be used to review the posting of the delivery order, so that the impact on ledger entries can be checked before completing the record. Once everything is fine, the record can be completed. Simply click on the Document Action button within the header panel, select Complete, and confirm by clicking OK. This will process the record and create the confirmation document for further processing. The shipment confirmation will be created, and the confirmation document number will appear at the bottom of the delivery order screen. From here, copy the created document number so that it can be searched in the confirmation screen. To open the confirmation screen, go to Storage Operations under Material Management, where you will find the Shipment GRN confirmation screen. Click on it to open. Once you land on the confirmation screen, the existing confirmation records will be displayed in a grid view. The Shipment GRN confirmation is a centralized screen that allows you to confirm documents whether it is a goods receipt note for incoming goods or a delivery confirmation for outgoing goods. For the delivery order confirmation, click on the confirmation hyperlink of the created document. This will open the record in a single record view. The confirmation can also be entered directly from the line composite view of the Shipment GRN confirmation screen, or by navigating to the Review Confirmation Line tab. Here, click on the GRN line hyperlink to open the record in a single record view, where you will also find some additional fields. If required, a description can be added to note any discrepancies found during confirmation. Alternatively, the confirmed quantity can be entered directly based on the targeted quantity. If any discrepancy is found at the time of shipping or dispatching, the actual quantity can be entered in the confirmed quantity field. For example, if 5 quantities are being sent, then entering 5 in the confirmed quantity field will automatically update the difference quantity. Let's assume 7 quantities were picked at the time of dispatch, but 2 were found not up to the mark. In this case, 5 can be entered as the confirmed quantity, and the remaining 2 can be entered in the scrapped quantity field. These scrapped items can later be used internally within the organization. Based on the document configuration, the scrapped quantity is automatically used to create an internal consumption, which is an inventory use document. From the scrap locator, the specific locator can be defined where the scrapped quantity will be placed. For now, we will confirm the full quantity of 10, as this shipment is being assured in full rather than partial. Entering 10 in the confirmed quantity will also update the remaining quantity accordingly. After this, simply click on Save and Back to return to the header so that the document can be proceeded for completion. Click on the Document Action button within the header panel. On the Document Action page, select Complete and click OK to confirm. Once confirmed, the confirmation record will be completed. Now, return to the delivery order screen and refresh the record. You will see that the document status has changed to completed, based on the confirmation done from the confirmation screen. The next step is to create an AR invoice against this shipment that has been completed. To create an AR invoice, the Generate AR Invoice button available on the delivery screen can be used. This option allows the AR invoice to be created directly. However, for now, we will create the AR invoice manually from the AR invoice screen. The use of the Generate AR Invoice button will be covered in our upcoming training sessions. Now click on the menu utility to proceed. We can search for the AR invoice through the menu search utility, or we can navigate through Financial Management. Under Financial Management, go to Accounts Receivable, where the AR invoice option will be available. Click on AR Invoice to open it. Once the screen opens, it will display the landing page of AR Invoice, where mosaics related to AR invoices are also available. These mosaics will be explained in detail in the dedicated session on AR invoices. An AR invoice, or Accounts Receivable Invoice, is a document used to bill the customer for goods delivered or services provided, and it records the amount receivable in the company's accounts. The AR invoice has already been discussed in detail in its dedicated session. Here, we will only take a quick look at the basic fields required to enter the details. To add the details, click on the New Record mosaic. By clicking on the New Record mosaic, the screen will open in a single record view. On AR Invoice screen header, first select the organization, then provide the target document type, followed by the invoice date and the account date. The dates entered here are very crucial. The invoice date specifies the date on which this particular record is created. When the invoice date is changed, the account date will also update, but it can be set to a different date. This allows the record to be posted with the accounting value on a separate posting date, as required. Next, enter the details of the customer. Simply select the customer in the customer field, and the related customer information will be updated automatically, based on the data already maintained for that customer. If we have made any changes in the sales order, such as the payment term or payment method, then those changes also need to be updated here in the AR invoice. Only after that, we will be able to select the shipment against this specific AR invoice. These are the minimum details that we need to provide here. The sales representative represents the particular person who is creating and responsible for this AR invoice. Now save the header. After saving, we will be able to insert the lines. For this, click on the Create Lines From button, which will open the Create Lines From page. Since we already have the delivery order, it is preferred to select the lines from the Shipment field. However, in case the delivery is still due, the Order field can also be used to insert lines. Once we click on the Shipment field option, it will open the Shipment page with the available delivery order records. Select the appropriate document and confirm by clicking OK. Based on the selection, the product will be listed on the Create Lines From page. If there are any changes required in the quantity for the invoice, these can be updated accordingly. After selecting the line, click OK, and the line will be inserted into the AR invoice. The line will then be available in the Line Composite view for verification. We will not go into detail about the remaining fields and options here, as these were already covered in the dedicated AR invoice session under Financial Management. To complete this record, simply click on the Document Action button and confirm by clicking OK. Once the record is completed, the entire process from sales quotation to sales order will be concluded. I hope the complete cycle of the sales process from sales quotation to AR invoice in Onfinity is now clearer and better understood. This brings us to the end of this training session. Thank you for attending. If you have any questions or need further clarification, please feel free to ask.